Captain, before we step onto this back and reason island, tell me, what does behind make you feel when it means at the back of something, late or not as advanced, and the hidden reason or support that makes something happen? Meaning 1. At the back of, in a position after something. Used for physical position. Example, Captain, the supply crate is behind the mast. Common use, behind the door, behind the ship, behind you. Behind the mast. Meaning 2. Late, not as advanced, falling back. Used when progress is slower than expected. Example, we're behind schedule, Captain, trim the route. Common use, behind schedule, fall behind, behind on work. Behind schedule, meaning 3. The reason or support causing something, the force driving it. Used to talk about what is responsible for an action or success. Example, Captain, teamwork is behind this smooth voyage. Common use, the story behind, the idea behind, behind the scenes. Behind success. Behind can be literal, at the back, about progress behind schedule, or about cause support, the reason behind it, behind the scenes. Track what's around you, Captain. Carry behind for what's at your back, for the progress you must catch up on, and for the hidden support behind every win as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this structure and core island, tell me, what does bone make you feel when it means a hard part inside the body? A piece of bone used as food or material, and the deepest core of something. Meaning 1. A hard part of the skeleton inside the body. Used for the strong structure that supports and protects the body. Example, Captain, he broke a bone during the rough landing. Common use, broken bone, bone pain, bones and joints. Bone fracture. Meaning 2. A piece of bone in food or as a physical object. Used for bones in fish or meat, or a bone as a material. Example, Captain, watch for a bone in the fish stew. Common use, fish bone, bone in meat. Chew on a bone. Bone removed. Meaning 3. The core or deepest part. Often in phrases like to the bone. Used when talking about something at its most basic, deepest level. Example, Captain, the cold reached us to the bone. Common use, chilled to the bone, tired to the bone, to the bone. Bone cold. Bone is literal for the skeleton and also for bones in food. In expressions, it can mean the deepest core. Phrases like to the bone intensify how strongly something is felt, cold, tiredness. Stay strong at the core, Captain. Carry bone for the body's framework, for the small pieces you handle with care, and for the deepest intensity when something hits you to the bone as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this ring and signal island, tell me, what does bell make you feel when it means a ringing instrument? A signal sound for time or warning, and a bell-shaped object or part. Meaning 1. A metal object that rings when struck. Used for the instrument that makes a clear ringing sound. Example, Captain, the bell echoed across the harbor. Common use, ring a bell, church bell, doorbell. Bell ring. Meaning 2. A signal sound that marks time, starts, ends something, or warns. Used when a bell sound acts like an official signal. Example, at the bell the drill began, Captain. Common use, school bell, alarm bell, the bell rang. Bell signal. Meaning 3. Something shaped like a bell, a bell-shaped part. Used for objects that have a bell-like shape. Example, Captain, the diver checked the bell of the trumpet for dents. Common use, bell-shaped, the bell of a trumpet, bell bottom. Bell shape. Bell is usually the ringing object, but it can also mean the signal sound at the bell and the flared bell-like shape on certain objects, the bell of a trumpet. Follow the sound and the signal, Captain. Carry bell for the ringing metal that echoes, for the warning or start cue that moves the crew, and for the bell-shaped form you recognize at a glance as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this calm and guarantee island, tell me, what does ashore make you feel when it means calming someone with confidence, promising something will happen, and making something certain by taking action? Meaning 1. To tell someone confidently so they feel calm and less worried. Used to reduce fear by giving reassurance. Example, Nova assured the crew that the lights would return soon. Common use, assure someone, assure them that, reassure and assure. Assure, stay calm. Meaning 2. To promise, to guarantee something will happen. Used when you give a strong promise about a result. Example, Captain, I assure you we will reach shore before nightfall. Common use, assure you, assure success, assure delivery. Assure arrival. Meaning 3. To make something certain by acting, to secure, ensure. Used when you take steps so a result is guaranteed. Example, double check the knots to assure safety, Captain. Common use, assure quality, assure safety, assure compliance. Assure safety. Assure is strongest when you're giving confidence or a guarantee. It often appears as assure someone or assure someone that, and it can also mean making a result certain by taking practical steps. Assure safety, sog quality. Spark calm into the air, Captain. Carry assure for reassurance that steadies hearts, for guarantees that strengthen plans, and for actions that assure safety before the next wave as we sail to the next island. Captain, before we step onto this waiting and what's next island, tell me, what does await make you feel when it means waiting for something to arrive, something being ready in the future, and an outcome that is likely to happen next? Meaning 1. To wait for something, to expect it to arrive. Used in a slightly formal way for waiting. Example, Captain, we await the harbor signal before entering. Common use, await your reply. Await the results, await arrival. Await signal. Meaning 2. To be ready and waiting in the future. To be prepared for you. Used when something is prepared and will be there when you reach it. Example, a warm cabin awaits you, Captain, after the long watch. Common use, a surprise awaits, a new job awaits, what awaits you? Await you. Meaning 3. An outcome or experience that will happen next lies ahead. Used for what is likely to happen in the future. Example, if we ignore the charts, trouble awaits, Captain. Common use, danger awaits, challenges await, adventure awaits. Awaiting danger. Await is more formal than wait for, and usually takes a direct object. Await the signal, await your reply. It can also describe what is prepared for you, a surprise awaits, or what lies ahead, danger or challenges await. Hold your spark steady, Captain. Carry await for patient waiting, for what's prepared for you ahead, and for the future outcome that awaits if you choose wisely as we sail to the next island.